All right, talking Patriots and Chiefs with Andy Gresh, part of our New England Nation crew, WPRO Radio. All right, Gresh, this is the game we circled on our calendar before the season. High stakes, two big teams. What are you looking forward to most?
You know, I'm kind of disappointed in the matchup, quite honestly, because it isn't what we thought it was going to be, right?
What do you mean?
We thought this would be for the #1 seed. We didn't realize Baltimore would interject themselves in there. We didn't realize Pat Mahomes was going to get hurt. And look, the Patriots at 10-2, even though they haven't played great, they've kind of held up their end of the bargain. But you have a Chiefs team that is not very good defensively. They make mistakes all over the field. And with the Patriots, you know, the Q rating or the belief in their offense right now is lower than it's ever been.
Right.
I think, Yianni, we have to embrace the fact that if this team is going to do anything this year, meaning the Patriots, that it's going to be more like the 0-1 squad that did it with defense and special teams and just enough offense versus hoping that there's going to be an offensive explosion.
All right, so you mentioned offensive explosion. That game in October was in the 40s each way. Obviously, the second half of the AFC Championship game followed a similar script. Is this going to be a shootout game? Because the Pats' arsenal offensively maybe isn't there. How is the style of this game going to go?
Yeah, I think it's going to be much more low scoring than the AFC Championship game. And when you look at Kansas City this year, their running game, I don't want to call it non-existent, but I'm not worried about it going in.
Sure.
I'm more worried about the speed and the deep threat and the big plays of those guys getting down the field versus them running the ball. Conversely, if you're in New England, that's the way to beat the Chiefs, is to run the ball and lean on them and get Honey Badger sucked up as a safety to try to hit him with some play action over the top. So while before it was all about the offense, I think now it's, can the Patriots find a way to run against this Kansas City defense, and can Kansas City not make mistakes and shoot themselves in the foot on both sides of the ball?
So something maybe that benefits the Patriots defensively against Kansas City that we didn't see against Baltimore is that if the secondary is the best part of this defense and they're going to chuck it out and it's going against Kelce and Tyreke Hill, how do the Patriots limit the big plays, and how do they limit the Chiefs from getting the chunk yardage and moving down the field?
Well, look, you got to have good eye discipline, right? You can't get beat on a lot of the eye candy that they run, motions and things like that. Number two is you got to identify where Tyreke Hill is. If he's in the slot, you have to move someone appropriately into the slot to be able to take care of him. And I don't know if they'll run Stephon Gilmore all over the field. You know, there's two ways you can do it. You can either double team Tyreke Hill and take Stephon Gilmore and say, we're going to take Sammy Watkins out of the game, which is the opposite of what they did last year. Last year, they made sure Hill didn't burn him. Watkins went over 100 in receiving, and it didn't really kill the Patriots in the end. So there's a couple different ways they can do it. What will be interesting to me is how will the Patriot linebackers match up against some of the running backs in the passing game? Because as we know, the Patriots have had issues, and we saw it against the Texans, of running backs getting out in the flat against either Hightower or Van Noy. And then there's Travis Kelce. And the guy that I think the Patriots are best equipped to deal with is Kelce, because you have multiple linebackers who can cover him. So my gut is it'll be double coverage on Hill whenever they can. You'll put Gilmore on Sammy Watkins to take him out of the game. Maybe mix him in a little bit on covering Kelce, and then have linebackers on Kelce if he's lined up inside, a corner like Gilmore, or someone if he's lined up outside.
All right, two more. Usually when the Patriots are facing adversity back against their wall, they always come up big. Is this one of those instances? Because the national pundits are critical of the Patriots right now.
You know, let's remember this, Yianni, that in the last 10 years, I think it's 42-0. When Brady and Edelman have played together at home, I mean, they're undefeated. Now, conversely, when you look at the only team to come back on them, and remember, it's Brady and Edelman when they're playing, the only team to come back on New England in Gillette in 17 was those Kansas City Chiefs. So we know Kansas City's got a bunch of firepower. You have to be worried about Mahomes, who's starting to feel it a little bit. You can see the movement coming back and him trusting his knee after that injury. But at the end of the day, I mean, this was the fight we thought was going to be the one for the heavyweight championship of the world. And I still expect it to be, but it may not be the shootout people want.
And it could be AFC Championship game or a divisional round matchup. All right, let's quickly get your game pick.
Yeah, I think the Patriots win in a very close one. This is one of those like 28-27, 24-23 type games. They find a way to eke it out, and this is where we really bank on the resiliency of what the Patriots have shown us for years and years, Yianni, in that they've got the ability to bounce back, that they're going to wagon up, they're going to figure out a different way to do things, and I think the run game's got to be big. If they can't run the ball on this Kansas City defense, there's a bigger problem in terms of functionality and what the Patriots offense have been presenting. They can't run on this group. Man, that's bad news.
And we're going to learn a lot about the Patriots 425 on Sunday. All right, Andy Gresh, thanks so much.